Hello everybody, welcome to another daily dose of gaming news and all that good stuff. And as always, I also publish on Rumble, on the blogger site as an archive post thingy, and on Patreon for extra support. And I go about updates and such on the Twitter X platform. And yesterday I did a live stream. It was kind of a short one. I did basically manage to go around and finishing up the Shining Ground stuff there, at least what I wanted to do. Again, I didn't enter the Frenzied Flame because it's an ending that I don't want to go about and then have to worry about with the Golden Needle, even though I have, but I don't want to damage visually my character with the fingerprints. But yeah, and now afterwards, in the next live stream, we're going to get Mogwin's Palace, I think it's how it's called, to defeat Moog, the proper Moog, because to enter the Frenzied Flame, you have to access, you get through. Supposedly, you have to defeat Margit before because it has a seal, if not mistaken, and then afterwards you have to defeat. Not an apparition, a projection of Moogs there. But yeah, other than that, I think we managed to get around everything there, and we are prepared basically to head up to Mogwin's palace there. But yeah, interesting stuff there. Later today, I think we can get the Star Wars Jedi Survivor episode later on. And again, with streams, just keep me a follow on the Twitter, because if I manage to get around and do a live stream again, because I have limited amount of time of free time to do the stuff that I do for the channel, given that I have weird schedules because I'm a freelancer. I cannot commit to a proper live stream schedule. But yeah, keep your eyes on Twitter. When I can, I go about it. I tweet it out that I'm live, and you can give a watch there. Regarding channel updates, I think that's it. I don't know when I can manage to go around and do like a video, like a Fury video or something like that in that vein. But yeah, when I have time, I'm trying to figure out what I want to talk about it. But yeah, I've been watching a lot of Elden Ring lore stuff there. But yeah, to the news. Similarly, we talk about this DirectSR, which is basically an API from Microsoft, which is integrated on DirectX 12. I talked about this because it basically, what this API does is basically integrate all the upscaling technologies, FSR, DLSS, and Intel, whatever it is called. Basically, it integrates all of those technologies and makes it easier, their own integration on games and apps. So the developers only need to work on the specific integration for the game within DirectX 12, and basically can ingest the current versions of the upscalers from the different companies and make it work like that. At this moment, I think we got the preview phase here, but I think it's already working as intended. But yeah, it's going to be launched really soon. But at this moment, it's got the preview phase there, which is basically it's the testing phase basically. But yeah, it's good because now all, at least on the PC side of things, you only have to have the DirectX 12. Which is going to be good for newer games that support DirectX 12. And I think, I'm not sure if it is can be retroactively working with DirectX 12 or DirectX 11, sorry, or older versions of that. But yeah, the newer games usually are going all DirectX 12 in terms of the API development stuff there. But yeah, at least this is something that the developers don't have the excuse of not supporting an upscaling technology. But yeah, it's good to see that at least soon we will start getting this, and for sure when the games are being launched with this functionality on the API on the DirectX 12 part, we will start to be announced there. and I will cover it for sure. Regarding games, we got a new No Man's Sky update 4.7. It's called Adrift. Basically, what it does, again, this is a free update. Since the launch of the game, they've been doing all their updates and expansions are being free, so no charge there. Yeah, it allows players to experience an alternative universe, which basically is you are basically alone in the universe. There is like no buildings, NPCs, and the such. At least from what I can gather, it basically removes life forms. So no shops, no trading, no shortcuts, no help, no nothing. Supposedly it's more dangerous too, with sandworms now roaming free. Again, I don't know if it is sandworms on the planets there or if it's like space sandworms. I don't know. Basically, all the buildings are broken and rusted. Few remaining landmarks, the graves of lost travelers. In space, a new ghostly frigate beckons, allowing players to recruit a piece of this lonely universe. Basically, it's without the flourishing, so it's more like a solitary experience there for people that want to try it out. But yeah, they've been doing excellent since the botched launch that they did for the game a few years ago, and they have been updating and improving a lot the game. And everything they've been doing is free of charge. So when you get the game, you get with a full updated version there. And I think now it's I think I think the how it's called. God damn it. Oh my god, the Bethesda game. I completely forgot. It's so good that I forgot to get Starfield. Jesus. Starfield is an alternative to No Man's Sky, or what they're trying to provide there. I think No Man's Sky, even in terms of technical things of what they're trying to achieve there, seems a little bit better, even though I think Starfield has very decent, from what I understand, like some quests here and there, but basically that's it. The rest, I think, in terms of how you can play the game and the free choice for you to go around, I think No Man's Sky does it better. At least that's my perspective there. But yeah, that's what you got here from this game. Got some news here from Sony. I don't think they know what they are doing there. This guy, this has come from Herman Hulst, which is like one of the new co-CEOs. Basically, what they're trying to do is everything that it's game as a service, so multiplayer and crossplay and all that jazz, similar like Helldivers stuff there. They're going to start to launch them same time on PlayStation and on PC. But everything that is going to be single player narrative titles or whatever it is, these kind of things like let's say Ghost of Tsushima, oh my god, God of War and all that jazz, they are not going to be launched at the same time for PC. Yeah, I don't know what they're trying here, because the games as service has that thing with the mandatory thing of linking the PSN. You have to link, and for you to link, you have to be in a region where the PSN account is available. So you're already cutting a lot of players around the world. Again, Helldivers 2, I think it's still selling well to a certain extent, but even though there is a lot of market of that PSN account unavailability there, I think they didn't keep the promise of what the non-mandatory PSN linking, because they removed they delisted the game from the Helldivers 2 from Steam on countries where PSN is not supported. I think it's not a good move in overall terms of things. The same thing happened with Ghost of Tsushima, mainly because supposedly you have a multiplayer part on that game that, again, it's mandatory that if you want to play multiplayer, you have to have a PSN account linking. Again, I don't think this is going to work very well. At least for my part, I will not continue to where games are on sale from published by PlayStation. I will not give a shit there until they change their ways. Again, I'm doing my part. It's a small impact, trying to put this into everybody's attention. But yeah, this is supposedly their strategy here, which I don't think they kind of understand how things work, because the fact that you're delaying single player games or single player narrative titles, that you delay the launch for PC, even though you want to enter in the PC market, for you to try and entice players to buy a PlayStation just to play the single player narrative games. This will not work in a larger scale. There might be some people that will invest on a PlayStation console just to play at the time of launch, but people tend to forget we got a lot of excellent games on the PC platform. I don't know what kind of strategy, if they really want to, especially in the short term, if they want to start ramping up sales and have a good feedback from players regarding their policies. I don't think this is the best way to go about it, but what can I say? Even though PlayStation 5 seems to be pretty good after 4 years into the cycle, they have more than half of monthly active console users with higher engagement by gameplay hours than PS4. So in their supposedly ecosystem, things are kind of going well, let's say. But yeah, I'm not sure what they're trying to do here. Even though the games themselves are excellent. I'm not going to play them. I got excellent alternatives also. It's a shame that I'm probably going to miss a lot of these games here. But while they'll maintain this kind of policies, I will not play these games. At least for me, that's my take. Everybody does their own. I will not put anybody down because of it, but yeah, that's my choice, because if consumers don't make a stand, nobody else will. The people sometimes tend to forget that corporations don't give a crap about people. They just want to make money. They don't care basically how they make money. They just want to make money. And if you don't fight for certain conditions, you will get no conditions at all. And the perfect scenario for them is just they lunge around and you give them money for nothing, and that's the perfect scenario for them. So they're always fighting for that kind of scenario. Continuing with PlayStation stuff, we got today, we're going to have State of Play. I don't know when this is in my time zone. When I can, I will try to check out this State of Play. Supposedly they're going to feature 14 titles. My main curiosity here is with kind of, again, if there is a confirmation of what we talk about here in terms of PC announcements, and if if they do any kind of clarification on games that come to PC, if even the games that only have single player stuff, if you don't have the requirement for the PSN account linking, or if they continue to delist the game, even single player games, they're going to continue to delist on Steam because of PSN requirements there. I don't know. I think they will, but that I would just want to see if there is a confirmation regarding that, because I don't have a PlayStation, I don't have any kind of console, so I'm a PC player, so it's just out of curiosity there. And continue with that, yesterday, I think yesterday, when this came out, the interview on Sony regarding Neil Druckmann for the what it said that the next project could redefine mainstream perception of gaming, which is kind of a bullshit given how their track record after The Last of Us 1 came out. It's being a downhill, and again, I'm not sure because I don't follow too much like insider PlayStation stuff and Sony stuff. I think the dude that co-founded Naughty Dog, the other guy just went away, and basically it's Neil Druckmann on the charge there. And I think the other guy was more the more creative person there, coming up with the story. Get also Amy Hennig. She worked on, I think she worked on The Last of Us Part 1, and also she went away, I think, in the middle of development of Last of Us Part 2, if not mistaken. And she worked also on the Uncharted games there, in terms of the story narrative driven stuff there. I think some of the higher profile and more creative persons, they just bailed out of Naughty Dog. And I think it's a lot of it because of Neil Druckmann. The way this guy acts like a freaking diva and like a visionary of the gaming industry. But yeah, I don't know if this thing, the fact that this interview was completely scrubbed from Sony, because supposedly there were some several significant errors and inaccuracies. Again, I think what they did, because I don't know if it, I think it only worsens the thing, because this guy don't even knows how to give interviews. That's my perception here. Again, on the Twitter stuff there, in editing my rambling answers in my recent interview with Sony, some of my words, context, and intent were unfortunately lost. Well, here's the full long rambling answer for the final question about our future game. Again, this just demonstrates that you have no freaking idea what the future of the games are. You just rambling. To ramble, I'm here to do that job, to ramble and kind of go about things in a very impromptu way. You're given an interview, so everybody knew, the parties involved knew that there was going to be an interview, knew when the interview was gone, and for sure, if they will get like certain topics they were going to try and touch, so you for sure you had plenty of time to gather your thoughts regarding this topic. So yeah, I think it only makes worse to a certain sense, because a guy that supposedly is a creative guy that thinks about things to create narratives and writes a lot, I think a guy like that should have their thoughts a little bit more coherent, given that the fact that you just ramble on and you just supposedly write as you speak, which is something that I'm the guy that usually does that. Yeah, it doesn't make you any better in this kind of situation, which to a certain sense it just means that people just see your ramblings and they trying to interpret the best way they can. And even the rambling itself, to a certain extent, it's credible how they managed to get around and get the idea of could redefine the mainstream perception of gaming. The way he went about it regarding series, The Last of Us Part 1 series, and then the Fallout series, and how you try to mud a little bit the waters there in terms of narrative, so people can never play the game, but watch the series, are interested in playing the game. Yeah, to a certain degree, it's trying to redefine the mainstream perceptions of gaming. I think it's a credible way of going about it, to try to make it a little bit more orderly in terms of the questions there, to presenting to somebody that it reads, because the way he goes about here, it seems that it's just he spoke, so he rambled, and then we got some, I don't know, the application speech to text, and then that's his answer, and people have to interpret it as it will. If it is, and I think again, if it was interpreted in a way that he was that he agreed with, I think we never saw something like that. But because he was called out by this specific thing of redefining mainstream perceptions of gaming, he was called out on this. I called him out on this because he doesn't really kind of know what he's talking about to a certain sense. Yeah, I think that's why he asked or whined about or cried about trying to scrub and make it a little bit more polished for him to look good on the picture. But yeah, this guy, yeah, it's not what you think he is. It seems is a scam artist to a certain degree. In a certain sense, he's kind of a scam artist trying to sell stuff from his company and trying to make things look good. But by the end, again, I think his thoughts there is at the same level than mine, in the sense that he rambles a lot like me, from a guy that supposedly is a narrative-driven person and has a storyline and a thread there. I think somebody that talks and knows what he's talking about should be more, I don't know, should come out better instead of just rambling. But yeah, that's my thoughts on this. I think it's only get worse, this situation here. But yeah, it is what it is. Then you got an update here with the Smash JT site there. I covered this. Again, I was kind of bit neutral because I never visited the site itself. And and for that I wasn't sure what kind of information was being aggregated on that Kotaku detected page of the site. But yeah, it seems that it was again an happy coincidence for this cuck guy, Nick Calandra, which seems to be like a very cowardly person from how he goes about things. Yeah, the fact that he put, I think there was like a holiday weekend on United States. So basically, what he tried to do is put kind of weaponize his community to mass flag and mass report the page itself from Kotaku to bring it down on Wix. Wix, it's not a huge company in terms of hosting services there. It's known, but it's not like a huge company. And basically, for sure, what happened, they overloaded the servers with the mass flag stuff, being that it's an holiday. There is not a lot of people working, if any. And for sure, something automatically triggered there on the in response of those mass flagging, and they basically locked the page down just in case. And then Monday or Tuesday, something like that, this guy Smash GT managed to talk internally with the support on Wix, and they reviewed all the information provided, the information that was on the site, and it was cleared, so no issues there. And yeah, now the page is on, and yeah, and now they are crying, this guy Nick Calandra and the other, the whiny little woman, if she identifies as a woman, this Alyssa Mercante here. But yeah, the main thing is basically, from what I understand, it's basically a collage or an aggregation, similar like not even IMDb. It's similar to almost like Rotten Tomatoes. You just pick the information that is available on the web, published directly by the person itself, and it's only just the picture of the person. It's something that is usually used on that person uses on social media, so it's nothing that it's not available out there in the sense that the people that person shared that thing, that picture, and it only has like the company's kind of position, if they work on Kotaku or not, and what kind of position they have, like if it is a journalist or something like that. And basically it's just links for usually or articles or YouTube videos of stuff, of the topics that they talk about, basically. So it's making some kind of publicity to a certain degree, but at least it's a resource that people can be directed to if they want to check out what these people said about this thing. I think it's something that it's easier to find. It's not nothing that people said in private, or even if it is like an unlisted video or something that was deleted by that person and now somebody dig up and try to recover it. It's something that is available online. If you Google it, for sure you will find it the same way, but at least as an aggregation page there, it's not nothing that I can see as an issue. So yeah, it seems pretty squeaky clean, let's say. It's not something like trying to make certain lists with personal information like this guy did with Grumps, basically trying to make it seem that trying to get around and getting personal information, getting out of the way to get personal information. Yeah, it's not what this Smash City page is about there. It's very similar to a certain degree as DI detected is, even though it doesn't uses the a personal not personal, sorry, it doesn't use because for you to put it like a game that works on DI, you have to dig around a little bit there on the sites of the companies there, and kind of dig around a little bit to see if there is a connection or not. Doesn't mean that you're going to illegally trying to, but it involves a little bit more digging on public records of the companies themselves than just basically doing kind of a collage on the Kotaku detective page. I think it's an easier thing. It's something that you follow the person on Twitter or in YouTube. you can get that information yourself also. But here on the Kotaku detected, I think it works in a more streamlined fashion there. But yeah, this guy is salty, and in response, this I don't know, this little lady. Yeah, these people are sick in the head to a certain degree because they don't have an opinion. The opinion depends on their feelings. There is no like logic attached to it. There is these people are sick in the head. I don't know what they have. Lack of medication, lack of therapy, or something like that. I think a lot of these people, they weren't brought up right. In a sense, they lack some kind of principles in their basis. There is no foundation on how they live their lives. They don't have principles. They are not nuanced. They just go about life depending on how they feel, which is basically how this let's say mind virus of the woke ideology and the message is brought up to. Is all about feelings and how you feel when you see something, when you read something, when you hear something. It's all about the feelings, and even the feelings themselves are triggered out of nowhere. Again, victimization, it still pays off a little bit, but yeah, this one was chatting and throwing rockets and fireworks with when the site was blocked, trying to make it seem that it was something that was the correct way, and trying to make it seem that in fact that page had like illegal information or was trying to doxing people, which is not the case, at least from what I've been seeing, and I maintain that position there. But now she completely, after the situation had turned around, now you can keep your website, it helps me, with this kind of emoji here. Again, these people don't know how to respond things. If they really thought that was something that was kind of doxing them or making hit lists, if they really thought about it, that was the Kotaku detective page was about that, they will maintain the same narrative, let's say, or the same thoughts, or if not, they could change and said, okay, I thought this wrong, because there is no apologies, there is no change of ideas regarding these persons. But yeah, good for you. You will continue to do your crazy faces and being crazy all over the place. I just hope that nothing bad happens to anybody. But yeah, I think a lot of these people need is to search some help, some professional, really professional help. I don't think social media will help you out in this fashion. But yeah, well, what we are supposed to do, as long as they do anything illegal, I'm not their father, I'm not their brothers, I'm not their husband or any kind of friend. So just get yourself some help and try to stop to being thinking that victimization is something that it's going to take you on the good path on the long term. It doesn't, that's for sure. But yeah, just going to wrap up here the news with some announcements here. Awesome exploration game. Seems pretty interesting how they're going about it. Again, this seems pretty simple game, like an open world kind of exploration, puzzling, solving kind of a game there. It seems pretty interesting. They got a particular style here. It's from Dear Villagers Publishing. I don't think there's nothing wrong here, at least from the site there. I don't think there is not something wrong. Again, I will try to keep my best to see if there is any kind of consultancy in these games, even on indie games, because you never know. I didn't see anything, so I will leave the article here. And also a roguelike action game, Ava, and the Off-World, it was announced. Interesting kind of action roguelike, I think it's platformer shooter kind of a thing there. Seems interesting how they're going about it. It seems like 2D scrolling one way, then in certain levels you just change to a kind of a tunnel vision thingy when you go forward instead of sideways. Yeah, seems pretty interesting. It's blend satisfying 2D shooter and thrill of roguelike, endless possibilities. Yeah, seems pretty interesting. Let's see how it goes. It was announced, I don't know when it comes, but at least you got a trailer here, and there is a Steam page if you want to wish list it. But yeah, basically this in terms of news. I'm just going for the usual deals here. We got Dave the Diver, 25% off. Again, it seems excellent game. It's one of those that I will, again, when I have time, I will dive myself in this game here. We got the Thaumaturge. Very interesting game, very positive feedback here, very detective-like kind of a things. Not much about the combat, even though it has some combat there, turn-based combat. But yeah, supposedly choices matter, and the way the spirit stuff works seems pretty interesting, and it's 25% off. We got Stray, again, it's you play as a cat, what else it has to do there. 34% off. We got Cocoon, again, winner of a award of, I think, like a puzzle game, I think, in that category. It's 40% off. And then you got also No Man's Sky is 50% off now with the Adrift update that I mentioned earlier. And lastly, on Steam, we got Jagged Alliance free, 50% off. Again, it's one of those that if you like turn-based combat and squad management stuff there, with the mercenary stuff there, I think it's an excellent one. Then on GOG, we got Hollow Knight, 50% off. Again, overall, me positive all over the place. It's one of those that I will really want to try out one of these days. We got also Tomb Raider GOTY edition, so the game plus all the DLC and all the content there associated, 80% off. I think is an excellent deal there. And lastly, we got Slay the Spire, 75% off. Again, this is an excellent game if you like the roguelike kind of a thing, deck builder. I think this is a pretty good one for you to immerse yourself. It's yeah, it's one of those. And yeah, basically this is it for today in terms of news, at least for now. If there is something very important that I can and I have time to make a video about, I will surely do. But yeah, I'll wrap up here with the plug on my Patreon for access support. The access support is for me to be able to get around getting a better storage solution, for me to be able to get backups of the stuff that I do for my clients, and of course some extra space for the videos that I do for the channel. And with all that said, I hope you have a wonderful day. I will see you in the next one. So until then, Kunamy Master out.